What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jerome coming to you today with a little bit of a recap for that whack ass BET Awards. So, without further ado, let's get into this bullshit. Hopefully, I can make this shit a little bit more livelier than that fucking award show was, because that award show was complete, total, trash ass bullshit. So I'm just gonna start talking about the host, who was Jamie Foxx. He hosted this year. Um, when I heard that Jamie Foxx was hosting the BET Awards, I kind of had a little bit of high hopes for Jamie Foxx because he is funny. He does he got to start with comedy with In Living Color doing sketch comedy. So I'm like, okay, when Jamie Foxx might bring it, he should. That was the key word. He should bring it, but this whole award show with him, it was lackluster. It was boring as fuck. I didn't laugh at anything he did. I thought it was completely boring. And I'm not understanding this whole Black Honda stuff with him. Like, Wakanda was black, so I don't get the whole thing with the Black Honda and all that kind of stuff. It just made no sense whatsoever to me. But, it just made no sense to me. And it's something that's Wakanda stuff, this Wakanda and Black Panther stuff, is gonna keep getting drilled into the ground to the point that it's redundant and it's gonna be, people are gonna be tired of hearing, seeing it, and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, Jamie Foxx, I just was not here for him at all. BT, don't bring him back to host ever again. And then with him talking about Monique and Oprah beef, I'm like, really? Monique is actually the best host for the BET Awards that we've ever had. Like, I loved when she first hosted the BET Awards, and then the time when she came back and hosted the BET Awards. Like, Monique has been the best host for me personally. I don't know about everybody else out there, but Monique has been my favorite host in the BET Awards. So fuck what everybody got to say about him. The only thing about the BET Awards with Jamie Foxx that I did kind of enjoy was when he brought Michael B. Jordan on the stage and he had him say that line from Black Panther. And then also when he brought what's his name? Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. I like when he brought Donald Glover on stage to sing a little bit of This Is Us, This Is America. What is the name of that song? I'm tired as shit, and I gotta go to work in the morning. Like, So, I mean, that's how I really felt about Jamie Foxx. He could have, it wasn't funny. Could have did better. Lackluster, just not here for that shit at all. Alright, and now I'm going to talk about the performances. I'm going to actually try to go in order of my favorite performances to my least favorite performances. So my favorite performance of the night was actually when Her came on stage. Actually, I have never even heard of this girl, to be honest with you. One of my friends, a few weeks ago, we were in a car together, and she was playing her song in the car, and I'm like, who is that? And she was like, Her. And I'm like, her who? Like, who? She said her. I said, her who? Who is her? And she said, that's her name, Her. I said, oh, okay. Didn't really pay attention to her then, because I'm still like, who the fuck is her? Why are you saying her? Who is her? But, when she got on stage tonight, I really completely enjoyed her performance. Like, I loved the strings, like the band geek in me geeked out when I saw the violin, the harp, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I love that shit. And then when she got the guitar and started playing that, like, man, like, I completely love that shit. Like, I love when an artist can play musical instruments. Like, I love when an artist is just doing them, singing and all that kind of shit, and not being over the top just to like some artists are just over the top for no reason. Like, I love when they just use a raw talent and just kill that shit. I also like Meek Mill's performance. Like, I completely love Meek Mill's performance. I loved it when that mother was screaming over her son that was shot. Like, if anybody knows the name of that song, please let me know what the name of that song is, because I really want that song, because I thought that was phenomenal. I really did like that. And I like, looking at Meek Mill's now, it looked like he's actually maturing and doing different for himself. So I'm really here for Meek Mill's now. I love Janelle Monáe's performance completely. I love that whole look of her performance. It was beautiful. If anybody knows the name of that song that she performed, please let me know that as well. Like with Janelle Monáe and her, and even with Meek Mill, like I love that shit because they're using their talent and they're not up there, using props and gimmicks and all that kind of shit. So I completely love them. Next was, which was completely shady as fuck on BT's part, because the production fucking sucked with this whole bullshit. I love Snoop Dogg's performance. I love, him start from when he first started doing his old songs up until his current song on his gospel album, which BT again was shady as fuck with this one. In the middle, I'm sitting here watching this shit, and in the middle of it, I just see that they go to a commercial break and they showing Bobby Brown. I'm like, what the fuck? Did they just really cut off the gospel part, just go to commercial? And I'm like, y'all niggas are going straight to motherfucking hell tomorrow, because y'all really just cut that shit off mid performance. And then for them to come back and Jamie Foxx is on stage performing, I'm like, what the fuck did we miss? Like, did y'all hire a bunch of high school kids to record this shit? Like, this shit just felt unprepared and all this kind of unprepared, unrehearsed, on everything. Like, nothing about this seemed professional at all. Like, it seemed like a high school musicals type of shit, and it felt like something that high school kids do at school. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is up with this bullshit? The next performer that I liked, which I thought again was shady as fuck, was LMI. Like, I love that song Boot Up. I think it's getting played out a little bit too much, but I actually really enjoyed that song. And I was slightly surprised that she was on the side stage. Like, what? Like, why is she on the side stage? Like, that's a good song. I mean, she might not, I don't know what else she has besides that, but y'all put her on a side stage. And then while we're talking about the side stage, there was another performer by the name of Sir, and I really enjoyed his performance. So I didn't even catch the name of his. I don't even know the name of his song, but I really dig that performance. Then we'll go. My next performer was Amigos. When it comes to the Migos, like, I felt like I had to be high to sit there and I enjoyed the performance, but I felt like in order for me to really gauge that performance, I felt like I had to have a blunt in my hand and smoking that shit while the Migos were performing. And then you had J. Cole perform. I like J. Cole's stage and all that kind of stuff, and I actually like that song that J. Cole performed, and I liked when the kids were on the stage, performing as well. So I really enjoyed J. Cole's performance. And who else do we have? Oh, and my least favorite of all of them was Nicki Minaj. Like, first of all, she performed Chung Lee, and I absolutely 100% hate Chung Lee. That song gets on my motherfucking nerves. I listened when that first song first came out. I listened to it once. That was it. Haven't listened to the bitch since. Actually, I got into a car with my cousin. We went out a few weeks ago, and he was playing that song. I'm like, nigga, if you don't turn this bullshit off, I hate this song. Like, I cannot fucking stand that shit. And then, she did another performance where she had Big Sean, YG, 2 Chainz, and I think that was it. And they all, I don't know the name of that song. It sounded like a good song, but their performance was all over the place. And I also tweeted that I hated that wig that Nicki Minaj had on. Like, if that wig, she needs to take that wig off and go burn that motherfucker, because that wig was ugly as all of the fuck. And some other performances I kind of liked it, but I didn't like was the tribute to Anita Baker. I liked Marsha Ambrosia's, and I liked Lettucey, and I liked Yolanda Adams, but when it came down to Miss Anita Baker, like, I love Anita Baker. I love Sweet Love, Been So Long. Lately, she did Lately, remade the remake of Tyrese's song Lately, which I think hers is actually better than Tyrese's in my personal opinion. Like, I live for that. I think that they could have got some other artists to, do that tribute to Anita Baker, but it was still good and I still enjoyed it. All right, and now we'll get into the awards. So the first award was presented by Regina Hall, and I believe the girl's name was Amanda Stenberg or something like that. And they presented for Best Collaboration. And this was the first time when you saw how fucked up production was, like completely fucked up. When they sit on the stage, and I'm like, why are they just standing there looking so odd and awkward and shit? It was because the fucking teleprompter wasn't telling them what to say at that time. And I'm like, oh my God, did y'all just put this shit together last night? Because I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is supposed to be an award show. Like, y'all ain't got y'all shit together whatsoever. Like, oh my God. Did y'all do a test rehearsal? Did y'all do anything for this bullshit? Like, did y'all? Like, this shit seemed like it was just put together. Actually, I won't even say last night. This shit like it was just put together before the show even came on. And it was a complete mess because that little girl was just sitting on stage and she was stumbling over her words. But they, like I said, they presented for best collaboration, and that award went to DJ Khaled, Rihanna, and Bryson Tiller for Wild Thoughts. Now, I was really confused about this song being nominated for a BET award because then this song, if I'm not mistaken, this song came out last year, and what's the cutoff for, nominations with the BET Awards? Like, I don't get that shit. Like, some of these songs and stuff that was nominated, I didn't understand it, like, 100%. And while I'm on DJ Khaled, am I the only person that thinks that DJ Khaled uses Baby Aside as a fucking clutch purse? Like, he's an accessory. Every time you see DJ Khaled anywhere, Baby Aside is right there on his shoulder like a clutch purse. But we'll get to the next award, which was presented by T.I. and Yvonne Orji. They presented for Best New Artist. That award went to SZA. SZA got on stage, and I absolutely loved what SZA was saying in her speech. I really 100% like that. Telling people that you either go, despite what other people might say to you and all that kind of stuff, continue to do what you need to do, if you're passionate about it and all that kind of stuff. Now, when SZA was on stage, she kind of gave me an awkward vibe, and I'm like, why are you acting so awkward and all this kind of stuff? Like, just be yourself. Go up there, take your award and walk the fuck off, say your little speech. But she was just really all over the place and kind of awkward to me. That's just my opinion. Other people might not have felt that way. And then we got Tyra Banks on stage. She presented for Best New Actress. That award went to Tiffany Haddish. Now, I get that Tiffany Haddish was a big breakout star of 2017, but so I'm guessing that's why BET may have given Tiffany that award. No shade to Tiffany whatsoever, because I actually really do like Tiffany. But I think that there were, the other actresses in that category with Tiffany were better fits than Tiffany was. But that's my personal opinion on that one. And then you had Jason Mitchell and Jacob Lattimore, and they presented the best group, and the winner of that category was Migos. When those niggas got on stage, I'm like, these niggas got to be high as fuck, because I didn't understand nothing that they were saying. And then was that Takeoff that walked? One of them went the wrong direction of the other group. One of them went off stage, and the other ones went backstage. I'm like, yeah, y'all niggas done smoked a few blunts before y'all even got on. Y'all must have smoked a blunt before y'all got to the awards. Y'all must have smoked a blunt before y'all performed. Y'all probably smoked a blunt after y'all performed, and y'all was just hella fucking high. And then you also had Mike Coulter. He presented the Shine a Light Award, and that award was presented to a Brittany Packman. I know he said that she worked for President Obama, did some stuff for President Obama, and I really wish I had taken down everything that he said that young lady accomplished, but shout out to her for that award. You also have Amari Hardwick and Tika Sumter, and they presented Best International Act, and that winner's name was DeVito. I hope I'm getting that right. I really hope I got that right. I actually like what he said when he got on stage. He was from, I believe, London. And no, he's from Jamaica. That's where he's from. Or Africa. Somewhere. Sorry. He was talking about how he wants to do some collaborations. And I really do want to get into artists that are not from the States. Like, I really do want to get into Jamaican artists. London, all that kind of stuff. Like, if anybody knows any good, people from outside of the U.S. that they could, tell me to listen to, let me know. And then you have Woody McClain and Gabrielle Dennis. I sat there and rolled my motherfucking eyes. So Woody is gonna play Bobby Brown, and Gabrielle is gonna play Whitney Houston. Now, this is not taken away from that young lady because she's a beautiful young lady, and I said that on Twitter. She's very pretty, but Whitney Houston, she the fuck is not no motherfucking Whitney Houston. Like, y'all really tried that shit with that one. But you know, they presented best movie, and the winner of that was none other than Black Panther, and you had Michael B. Jordan and the director get up there on stage and give his speech, and you can clearly hear his West Coast accent. And, you know, there was no surprise that Black Panther was going to win. I mean, look at how much it was used throughout the whole show. Jamie Foxx came in on Black Panther tip, and he used Black Panther for Wanda. So, no surprise that Black Panther won. And then you had the Lifetime Achievement Award, which was presented by Tyler Perry. And that was presented to none other than Ms. Anita Baker. And like I said earlier, I absolutely 100% love Anita Baker. Like, that is my girl. Like, I live for her fucking music. Like I love me some Anita Baker. Like, I wear out Been So Long. I listen to that whenever I do listen to it. I listen to it on repeat, like, for the whole time. That, like, if I'm listening to it at work, like, I keep that shit on repeat. Just keep it on repeat. Again, like I said with earlier about the performances with that, I did like them. I just thought that they could have been so much better than what they were, but whatever. And then you had John Legend. This was John Legend. It was supposed to be like the humanitarian award, but it was presented to multiple people in the who's done stuff for the community. You had Sean King up there. You had the young man who saved the baby. You had the young man who was at the Waffle House with the shooter, and the other young man who the school shooting that happened in Florida. You had the young man who walked out of his school, and I can't remember what that young girl did, but shout out to all of them. You know, I love seeing us black people do good stuff in our community. Like, just do amazing shit. Like, I'm here for it. Whatever you can do in your community, do it, and do it to the best of your abilities. That's how I feel about it. And you had LL Cool J. He presented the Ultimate Legend Icon Award, and that was given to Debra Lee. When it comes to Debra Lee, that fucking, whoever her stylist is, that bitch needs to fire him completely, because that dress was fucking ugly. Those ruffles were ugly. I didn't know that Debra Lee had been with BT for 32 years, but shout out to Debra Lee for that. When I first saw Debra Lee, no shade, I didn't think she was, I was looking at her skin, and I'm like, I knew she was, I knew she was light, a black woman. I thought she might have been albino. No shade to her, but I thought she was albino. That's just when I first saw Debra Lee. I thought, sorry if that offends anybody. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but that's just what I thought when I first saw Debra Lee. And then the last award was presented by, it was a Viewer's Choice Award, and it was presented by Kalina Harris. And I can't even think of that boy's name, but he plays Aaron on Grownish, and he's also in that new movie that just came out a few weeks ago. And this is again where I'm talking about with the BET Awards. Like, what is the cutoff for songs or movies or any kind of thing that's being nominated for a BET Award? This award was given to Cardi B for, I'm pretty positive it was Bodak Yellow. And Bodak Yellow came out last summer before my birthday. My birthday is July 16th. So that was weeks before the BET Awards even. That was weeks before. Actually, that was probably around the time that the BET Awards was on last year. So I don't get how, you know what, I'm going to leave it alone, and that's going to be it. But that was the BET Awards. I really was not enthused by it. I really honestly had not planned on watching it, because originally I was going to sit here and watch Real Housewives of Potomac. But since the Real Housewives of Potomac did not come on tonight, I watched the BET Awards instead. But that was the BET Awards, and you know, BET Please don't ever bring Jamie Foxx back to host the BET Awards again, because it sucked complete ass from start to finish. But that was my thoughts on the BET Awards. Let me know how you guys feel. Like the video, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later. I will be doing claws probably tomorrow, and I will put it up tomorrow.